So this is not going to be your average, basic, boring NAS video review. You know, the NAS replaces everything in your cabinet, gets rid of all of your SSDs and blah, 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 blah. So no, this isn't this can replace your cloud storage and this can replace your hard drives, because I need all of those things for all of the different roles that I live in my day-to-day life. So let me show you why I think the DH4300 Plus is of value and why you should consider it for yourself as well. Before we jump into it, UGREEN did send the DH4300 Plus out for a review, but as always, this is an honest and transparent buyer-focused review where my goal is only to give you enough information so that you can make an educated and informed decision. So let's jump into it. Myself, I'm a content creator. I'm a freelance videographer and photographer. I'm a basketball coach. I'm a dad. And I have a cell phone and I take a lot of pictures and I fill this thing up often. Not only that, my wife is a business owner and she owns a boutique shop where she creates garments, so shirts, shorts, hats, different things like that with different designs, etc. And she has to store a lot of different files for those designs and SVG files that she purchases and sells and receipts and you know all of those different things. And also, this is designed for entertainment as well. There's an HDMI port on the back of the DH4300 Plus that allows you to connect it directly to the television. I have mine connected directly to the television where I can watch video that's stored in my NAS on the television directly. But the beautiful thing about that is I can also access those video files remotely on my cell phone, iPad, other televisions and things like that that have a smartphone connection, etc. As long as you can get the UGREEN NAS app on that television through their operating system. So the beauty about this is that it's not just for productivity, it's also for creation, and it's also for entertainment. So it covers the full spectrum of users. So there isn't just one individual person that would benefit from the NAS. And that's why I don't think that we should do a generic, this replaces your hard drive video, because I think it should be very important on who would use this and how it would make their life efficient. So to keep this simple, what is a NAS? A NAS is basically a very large hard drive that you can access anywhere in the world, as long as it's connected to the internet. Now, unlike something like this, where you have to connect it directly to your PC, your cell phone, etc., you don't need this. You can just open the UGREEN NAS app and you can access all of your files. You can upload files, send them back and forth from the NAS. You can share them with other people, etc., just from your phone. The user experience is the most important thing when dealing with a NAS. Again, there are several different types of NAS solutions that you can purchase, and some of them are super complicated to use and very hard for the average person to use. The coolest thing about the DH4300 Plus is that it's designed from an ease of use standpoint. There are definitely different tiers when it comes to a NAS setup. Some are for professionals that are in data architecture and storage. And then there are options like this, where it is super simple to start. You plug it in, you sign up for an account, and then you can upload once it's connected to your network. This is such an easy installation that the average person can use it. And what makes it exceptional is that it's easy to use because you only need to download the UGREEN NAS application. All of the functions that you can do on the DH4300 Plus can be done with just your cell phone. There's no need for training on how to store and create vMachines or IP static addresses or anything like that. Everything is managed in the UGREEN NAS app. Super simple and easy. Not only that, the installation is super easy. You take the lid off, you put the hard drives on the carriers, and then you slide those into place. There's 4 of them. So that gives you a total of up to 128 terabytes of storage. The average person will never need 128 terabytes of storage. In the kit that UGREEN sent out to me, they sent 16 terabytes of hard drive capacity. Now with that, there are several different RAID configurations that I can select. And to keep it simple, for those of us that are not data engineers, this basically means that you can use all of the storage, or you can set up redundancies, which means that half of the, for lack of better terms, half of the storage is used for actual storage and the other half is used so that you don't lose that storage. Now, it's more complicated than that, and I'll put information or the link in the description below so that you can learn more about the different RAID options that they have. And I'll put them up on the screen as well so you can see what RAID options they have for this particular DH4300 Plus. Before we get too far in the video, put in the comment section below what brought you to this video. What are you trying to figure out about the UGREEN NAS DH4300 Plus? Myself or someone in the community will answer in the comment section below. I'm always on the go as either a freelance photographer, videographer, content creator, sports coach, or dad. And the UGREEN NAS DH4300 Plus is the first solution outside of Lightroom where it's giving me a AI-based photo album so I can separate those things. In my AI album, I can see my players' faces, and so I can select their name or their picture and get their photos when I need to create content on Instagram on our team page so that I can create highlights and stuff like that for our team. And so even though I have all of these different folders, whether it's separated by sports, whether it's separated by content creation, or whether it's just separated by the Cozy Family 2026 family vacation, I can just click on my son Ty's face and it's going to bring up all of the videos. Even though I still need some of the other hard drives, those hard drives are manual. So when they're plugged into my computer and I'm sitting there scrolling for hours trying to figure out where the hell did I put that video where I was standing on the left hand side and I was shooting up at the stop sign and the light flashed across it for my B-roll. Right? It's super simple to go and find that because I can just type in stop sign and stop sign is going to pop up. So that is what makes my workflow efficient, even though it's not replacing everything that I have. So as a content creator, I'm able to store documents, files, video, footage, etc. on the NAS directly and then access it from my phone, access it from my MacBook, access it from my iPad, access it on the television behind me, etc. I can do all of those things. However, my wife, she's a business owner. She owns a boutique shop called A Cozy Life where she creates these different garments, t-shirts, shorts, all these different things. For her, she uses a NAS to store her files, store receipts, store SVGs, etc., and then be able to access that so that she can fulfill orders on the go from her cell phone, so that she can create and design on the go on her laptop when we're traveling, etc. So there's very many reasons that she uses that. She also uses it for taking photos off of her phone and videos off of her phone. I'm a basketball coach, so when she's recording the games and she's recording the kids, taking photos, taking video, etc., she can then put all of those things on the NAS, access it, but most importantly, delete it from her phone. She has a small hard drive on her phone, so that allows her to fill it up, empty it, fill it up again, empty it, fill it up again. And that's the way that she likes to use it. I recently went to my son's graduation and I was able to take photos of my son and his friends, and I was able to then share all those photos via a link with my son, and so that he could then share them out with his friends, etc. So there's a lot of different ways that this can be used. But don't forget, this can also be used for entertainment. Because there's an HDMI port on the back of the DH4300 Plus, you can connect this to a television and you can run a Plex server, or you can just store video files on the NAS and then you can watch them directly plugged in via HDMI, or you can watch those video files again anywhere in the world as long as there's a network connection. So not only is this good for productivity, like someone like myself that's a content creator, it's also great for someone like my wife that's a business owner and an everyday mom that just wants more storage for her cell phone or emptying out her cell phone. It's also great for someone that shoots photos and things like that for events and wants to share those out later on. And one of the things that I think that the NAS can actually replace is cloud storage, because I use Dropbox very often. And the way that I use Dropbox as a content creator is when I finish a video that needs to have usage rights or something like that, I'll upload that video to a Dropbox link. Now, I'll then send that link out to the client, and then they will download the file from the Dropbox link, and then they will then have that full file so that they can then do whatever they want with their usage rights for the time that's allowed. Now, the thing about that is that I have to pay a monthly subscription of at least $11.99 for the Pro plan for Dropbox. But if I want more features like how long they can access the link, who can access the link, giving them the ability to upload the link, or being able to share files back and forth as a team and things like that. You have to pay extra. That causes an extra expense that I carry as a burden of overhead costs as a content creator for when I have those type of projects. And then afterwards, you're paying for all of the storage of all of those various videos that you've uploaded to that cloud storage, if you will. Whereas in this scenario, I house all of that here in-house. I can send them one link and I can control how long they have access to it. I can control who has access to it, and I can control if they can edit or any of that on their end, or if they can just view or download, etc. All with just, you know, not paying a single cent once I make the initial investment on the DH4300 Plus. So that's the type of ways that this, I think, can be useful for someone, you know, depending on your use case and how you're going to use the DH4300 Plus. Another unique thing about this is that this can be accessed from any type of device. So this isn't limited to the type of computer you use. It's not limited to whether or not you're working on Windows or you're working on Mac, because you can access it from both. You can also access it from my wife's phone, which is an Android Samsung Fold 7. So she has full access to my NAS, even though she's an Android user. And I have full access to my NAS on my iPad and my iPhone. So even though I'm an iOS user, my wife is an Android user. I work on a Mac, but she works on a PC. We all have access to all of the files on the NAS. Now, the nice thing about it is that because I own the NAS, I can control how much access my wife has. Not because I'm trying to hide anything from her, but because I don't want her to fill up my entire NAS with her cell phone pictures. And so with that being said, I can limit the amount of access that she has and on the permissions that she has and the folders that she can share to and upload to and all of those particular things. I actually don't do that, but if I needed to, I could. And so if you are, you know, in those scenarios where you have a lot of different people accessing the NAS, you can control how much access they have because you're the administrator, and then they could just be a simple user, they can be an editor, etc., etc. You have the power to do that within the NAS or in the UGREEN NAS application. With that being said, who is this really for? And I think I've shared that throughout this entire video, that this isn't one of those boring videos where it's just this can replace everything. I think I've tried to illustrate where this would work in everyone's, you know, workflow or use case depending on who you are. And the nice thing about this particular NAS is that it's extremely affordable. Whereas if this was like a Synology or a QNAP and it was going to cost $2,500, it wouldn't make sense for me to recommend this to my mother-in-law or my father-in-law or my aunt or my wife's brother or, you know, other content creators that just do simple edits on Instagram. It wouldn't make any sense. But because this is an extremely affordable NAS, I recommended this to everyone because my mother-in-law likes the photos of the kids and things like that, and she's one of those people that always gets the base model iPhone. She never buys the 1 terabyte version. She gets the very lowest, cheapest version, so she fills up her phone really fast. And so for someone like her, she can create an automatic backup for all of the files and the videos that she takes of our kids. Then she can offload those to her NAS, and then she can refill up her phone to her heart's desire when she wants. So that is where it's going to come in handy for me. So you let me know in the comment section, where would this be useful for you? And you let me know if you have any other questions in the comment section below. As always, I'll be in the comments looking forward to having that chat with you. If you're new to the channel and you enjoyed today's content, hit that subscribe button below, join the Cozy Coalition, and as always, stay cozy in that crazy world, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.